Hi, my name is Em. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. Welcome back to another episode of New Makeup Nonsense Bingo. It's been a little while for me. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad you're here. If things look a little different, this New Makeup Nonsense Bingo was filmed live for my patrons and channel members, and y'all, the vast majority of YouTube, are getting the editor cut, but patrons and channel members get all of the juicy details. I was taking a page from our former bingo partner, Audra, with this, and hopefully all goes well. We're gonna go through, I have the spinning wheel back again this time. We're gonna play bingo. I have cider, I have releases. Editing Emily will show you all of the possible releases we're talking about this week. And we're going to play some bingo. Don't forget to check out my dear friend Teresa. Teresa is dead. And her video, because she's a gem. She's a delight. I'm sure y'all found that came here from her. But if you haven't, her video will be linked in the description box, along with our community playlist and bingo card and hashtags, in case you ever want to play along yourself. I'm going to cut to the chase and get started because that's what we're here to do. And cheers. If you like the look of this layout, of these graphics, of the vibes, this is also what things look like over on Twitch. Actually, Twitch looks even fancier than this. So if you ever wanted to follow me over there and catch makeup live streams, gaming, and stuff like that, I would appreciate that. Let's see what's first up. So, Fenty has this cherry dub duo with a cherry scent inspired by Barbados cherry. So the cherry dub super fine daily cleansing face scrub is $28, and the cherry dub triple action AHA body scrub is $36, and the duo is $64. It's available June 6th. I'm sure it'll be on Sephora on their website. What's actually funny about this is that when they did a teaser, they did a have you ever pop your cherry on this, or something about popping cherries. And a friend of mine was like, is Fenty going into lube? And I actually thought I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. We've already talked about Christina doing lube. Sephora and Ulta have personal care sections with lube and vibrating objects. So it kind of actually, the fact that it is not that, I was like, missed opportunity. If you're gonna market it with cherry poppin', that's a missed opportunity. But it's fine. Actually, I do find it interesting that a lot more brands are bringing AHAs and acids into body care. I'm not mad about that because I think Good Molecules has either a body wash or a lotion that is supposed to be good for discoloration. Fenty has this. I've seen it actually quite a bit lately in the last year or so. And I like that because I am somebody that I have scars of all kinds, mosquito bites, falling, tripping, all that kind of stuff all over me. And I've gotten kind of more comfortable with them. But if my regular old body wash, which this is a body scrub, but if my body wash had that kind of ingredient in there to help with discoloration and it wasn't $30-$40 a tube, which this is, I would consider buying it. I don't dislike this release, but it's not doing anything for me. And I think the fact that I was more excited or more intrigued by them doing lube or something makes this a womp womp for me. But that's because I am a child in my head and I love adult humor. It is food themed, but it is, I'm going to put it under food theme. It's a food theme release. It's cherries. I think that depending on the cherry that they use, it might be a scent I really like. Since they specifically say the Barbados cherry, I mean, I don't love fake cherry, but I like cherry. So I'm kind of intrigued, I have to say. But just like with skincare, the fact that brands are getting into body care very much feels like we just need to make money more often than people buy makeup. What is that? Is that hair care? Oh, okay. Let's see what that is. Let's see what that is. Oh, it had to be time. Let's talk pride. Pride and rainbow capitalism. You know, our favorite combo. It's so forgettable. I kept forgetting about it. It's the Caritas Pride 2023 edition Elixir Ultime. The brand donated $25,000 to the Trevor Project. It's a travel size in a glass bottle that's beautifully decorated with a rainbow. And the brand will also be launching a campaign featuring LGBTQ plus creators that will feature their own hair care tips. Okay. I mean, I was never gonna buy this because it's fancy hair care, overpriced hair oil, but now, yay! Okay. They donated $25,000 to the Trevor Project, cool, but it's kind of I'm like, okay, well, you did your work, brand. I don't need to be tempted by your product because I assume that they've already done the donation and this is just their cherry on top. Bump. Yeah, it's boring. Like I think if a brand were to do like we made a big donation and every bottle sold has 100% of the profits, then I might be like, yay, go you, but I don't care. I should probably rename the holiday makeup square Rainbow Capitalism, but I'm just gonna put it in that spot anyway because it's also a product I won't die with the whole Pride Rainbow Capitalism, but we're gonna put it under We Can't Escape the Holiday Makeup. I think brands are gonna have to do a lot with Rainbow Capitalism to impress me. At the same time, brands doing nothing and saying nothing. I'm taking notes. Is that NYX? Oh God, I think that's NYX. More NYX. Are the ultimate palettes? Why does that feel familiar? I mean, everything that NYX does feels familiar because I feel like they're just recycling things over and over again. It's new at Ulta. There is the Vintage Jean Baby, the Paradise Shock. I know that's bright and warm neutrals. I get maybe they're Ulta exclusive. It says now at Ulta. And they're $20 each for 16 pan palettes. Okay. I mean, no. You know, this is how I am when I film, where I'm very much like, So like the new Jean Baby or whatever that one's called. I mean, Elf did just do the American Eagle denim palette collab thing. So, okay, fine. Do your own thing. The Paradise Shock is literally a warm neutral with 3 pops of color. And I don't trust NYX for eyeshadows. I think the formulas will suck. I think it looks like a revamped I think it's the ultimates that they've had, but I think they repackaged them and maybe renamed or shuffled some colors around. No, because even this Rainbow Ultimate palette doesn't look as diverse in colors as the old one. Like, why is half the palette orange, pink, red? The top left-hand quad and the bottom row look very similar. I'm going to say something that might seem cruel. I bet Morphe has put out more interesting palettes than these. Same shit, new packaging. Same fucking shit, new packaging. Okay, this bitch. I don't know what to think about this fucking palette. So Natasha Denona has a new palette. It's a midi palette, so it's $69. It's the Yucca palette. And it's like it's a green brown. To me, it's a neutral with pops of green and yellow kind of palette. I don't, and there are 3 new eye crayons that look like they have like one of those kind of like chartreusey colors that I'm often tempted by. I think I'm just so tired of some of the fuckery of Natasha Denona that like I probably even like a year ago would have flipped my fucking shit for this palette. I do think it's more interesting than usual, but I still feel like the choices of some of the shimmers and some of the mattes, it's another gold palette. It's more gold, bronzes, oranges. And then like, yes, there are, if I'm looking at it right now, I see about 5 shades that look interesting to me. And those are the greens and yellows. But none of those are shimmers. I'm sure that some of those shimmers in there, at least the one in the bottom row, is probably like a greenish gold, but it doesn't read green to me the way I want. So here's my thing that I keep seeing with her, is I don't think she's been as texturally interesting since the gold palette. Oh, I would have loved a midi gold and green palette. I've said that. I'm like, if she had done like, but I think if this had been yellow, gold, and green, that would be different. But to me, this is warm neutral, gold and green. Like the orangey warm neutrals in this really just turn me right off. And the only reason why I continue to give the brand even like a little dust over time is because they are magnetized palettes, and I use palettes like that as singles all the time. And I love palettes like that. But I think this is still just like a little too late for me for Natasha Denona. I'm not excited about it the way I thought I finally would be with the Natasha Denona greenish palette. I think for me, it's just, I don't trust her ability to make color stories that actually excite me. So I'm trying to like temper my feelings on this because I don't want to get overhyped by it. So I'm probably skewing further in the opposite direction than a lot of people are right now. I feel like it's a bit of a catfish for me because it keeps kind of grabbing me. There's little things, but I think I know myself and my preferences enough to know to stay away. We'll go ahead and we'll skip to Nomad. I don't have to spin the wheel. And then if it shows up in the wheel later, we'll just skip over that. So this is the Nomad Cosmetics Okavango Safari palette. It's $42. It's a 15-pan palette with mattes and shimmers, including animal print swirls. The outside packaging is a fuzzy texture. Okay. It makes sense because I've been seeing the outside packaging and it's like a leopard print. And it's already launched. It launched on the 30th. I think that this palette looks at first sight prettier because it doesn't feel quite as warm. I think the green row, the middle row, is pretty, but I'm looking at those 2 shimmers and I'm like, they look like they are going to show up the same to me personally. And if I'm buying something because I love green, I want the variety. And it does have more depth. I will say I do think it has more depth, especially when you look at like the right hand column and then the bottom row. I think that the tones do look like they go deeper, but I still personally don't love the theme. Didn't love the Natasha Denona Safari theme. Don't really love this one. And I'm just not like, I'm not super compelled by Nomad. When you do a palette about the monarchies of Europe, and then this one back to back, among other things, it's hard for me to feel that compelled by them. I think in the scheme of palettes, I think that this has like a place in the market, but it just doesn't grab me. Like, I think if this palette had been that like green taupe khaki, they'd really just leaned into the like green to gray khaki deep, like they already have those colors happening if they had just taken out some of the super warm tones. And I still do think that some of those look pretty close. Like, I think that they could have done a really interesting, like more grungy green color story. It's funny how I've been like, I want more brands to release green palettes. And I've realized this a long time ago that I'm just like, I don't actually want more palettes. I mean, I want a palette if it's beautiful, spectacular, stunning. I'm super excited by it. But otherwise, I'm gonna pick it apart. I'm gonna call it pretty embossing basic makeup because I also saw a lot of people freaking out about like, oh my God, the animal prints and the embossing. And I'm like, okay, I'm not saying it's not unique, but I'm also, okay. Just like, it's fine. Oh God, what is this? That's exactly who I thought it was. Anyway, Hailey Bieber Rhode Beauty Skincare, whatever, is a toner sunscreen with a milky texture. Look, I don't trust Hailey Bieber or Rhode or whatever to make a decent sunscreen. Then keep that. No, thank you. I prefer personally for myself, generally speaking, I'm not going to say every skincare thing I bought is from a standing, like intensely, vetted brand. But in general, I prefer buying my skincare from brands that have existed for more than the time it takes to make a baby. Let's spin. Oh. Our favorite Putin supporter is back with a palette. God, I can't keep my mouth shut. Everyone is like losing their fucking shit over it. It looks like it's mostly a warm neutral palette with some duochromes, but okay, it's fine. Honestly, I bet you could do that with some Colourpop singles, some Colourpop Super Shocks. I'm sure that in the marketing photos, they're going to look pretty. And I'm going to say, ABH has done pretty shimmers in the past, pretty duochromes. There was a duochrome in the Subculture palette called, I think, Electric. That was fucking spectacular. But I hated the rest of the formula of the Subculture palette. Even the newer formula that was supposed to be better. It's very boring to me. The mattes look like boring choices. Yeah, I just don't care. And I've seen 2 different photos of this, and it looks vastly different. One of them was like, the first photo that they showed was like, looked much more cool tone and looked much more interesting. And then when they showed this photo, I was like, it's just another warm neutral palette with a couple pop. It's the pops of blue. Oh, wait. I think I have the perfect square on the card for this. This gets the yes, give us nothing award. Let's see what's next. Why does that look like? Looks like Profusion, maybe. Oh my God. Wait, is there more? Are we doing more Finding Nemo? Okay, this I should have known. This is Makeup Revolution x Pixar, a Finding Nemo collection. But like, are we just randomly doing collabs? It's out now. There are liquid blushers, lip oils, sponge sets, a Mine palette, a Fine Noggin Dude palette, Finding Nemo palette, Sherman palette, brush set, clear lip gloss, Fish Are Friends, bronzer highlighter palette, Wake Up bronzer highlighter palette. Also, these palettes, the eye palettes, are like $25 and $20. I know I've yelled about this before, and it's not even, okay, look, I'm gonna say they could have done some weird, cute, like add-on things. Like there's a makeup bag and there are some sponges. I think about that silly Sesame Street Wet n Wild collection. Do I think any of the products are good? No. Do I think that the kind of like add-on collectible things are cute? Yes. They didn't even give us that here, right? It's too much stuff. It all looks the same and none of it looks interesting. Makeup Revolution, go away. Get the fuck out of here, please. Or do something interesting, but you refuse. Okay. We're kind of maybe sort of getting close to a bingo. Maybe. Let's see what's next. Chanel highlighters, probably highlighters. Is there just 3 or is it 9? What is going on? Les Symboles de Chanel oversized illuminating face powder in warm gold, pearly white, and precious coral. I guess you can like get different embossings if you want. The lion or the I'm so bored. Nobody needs oversized highlighters, and I fucking love highlighter. Nobody needs oversized highlighters, especially not fucking Chanel customers. Somebody can call Michelle Wong because I don't give a fuck. Why is there a cheese palette? Lilybyred has a cheese plate edition, a 10-pan palette and powder that are super cheesy. I'm pretty sure Lilybyred is a Asian beauty brand. I don't know which country of origin. Hold on. Wait, let me scroll for y'all because I am offended. Like, I can get behind like weird cutesy releases, but they have to be done well. This is a total and palette that y'all have the audacity to call a cheese palette. And I'm sure cheese looks different in other parts of the world, but that's a fucking shame. That's a shame and a half. No, absolutely not. Oh, I was actually interested about these, or I'm curious. So one of the most boring brands at Sephora, Makeup by Mario, has something that might actually intrigue me. They are the Soft Pop Plumping Why are they plumping? Why are you calling them plumping? I went from like maybe intrigued to annoyed. So they're $30 each. There's 6 shades. It's a light coverage, weightless cream blush that's made from hyaluronic acid to hydrate and plump skin with a sheer veil of color already available. Nope. No. So I had heard about the brand's like, is it their bronzer, their weird like bronzer face powder that like, it kind of reminds me of the way the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm seems to perform, but as like a bronzer face powder. But these are for your cheeks, and like I actually kind of like some of the colors here, but I also if it's like a full cream and not like this like balm powder kind of hybrid, no thanks, I'm good. And I don't want hyaluronic acid in everything. I just want makeup and skincare, or I should say I just want skincare in skincare and not in makeup. It just complicates everything. I am gonna say I'd rather not, because I don't want the skincare in my makeup. I just don't. So this really shocked me because it's from BPerfect. And BPerfect is the brand of the giant palettes. I was not expecting them to do smaller palettes. It's still 15 pans, which when you realize that it's still 15 pans, it's like, oh. But the color story doesn't actually do anything for me. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, I'm still not going to buy anything from BPerfect. But it's funny how like I really was like, what the fuck is this? It's the Gravity Shadow Palette. Cool and neutral mattes complemented with high reflecting pressed pigments and intense metallic shimmers. 10 mattes, 3 light reflecting pigments, 2 luxe metallic shimmers. $30. It's available now. It doesn't feel like it goes deep enough, and like I'm not in love with the specific mix of grays, but I don't think it's a terrible palette. We're just gonna skip it because it doesn't really fit into anything. That's fine. Let's talk about the other gray palette. I feel like this bingo is the bingo of brands I don't care about, but this is a new palette from LH Cosmetics. It's the Aim Higher palette. I'm not going to read all the... Oh, it's a climbing inspired palette. There's a yellow iridescent. Oh, that's interesting. Dirty beige with gold shimmer, a bunch of mattes, shimmers. It's $50. I wish the iridescent showed up more in the actual swatch photos because it looks pretty sad. Yeah, it feels overpriced. $50 for a 9 pan. Here's the thing: is I don't hate the color story, but I think first of all the top row, I'm guessing one of those is a matte and one of those is a shimmer, but they feel really, really close. And I think it would have been a more interesting color story if maybe there was 2 yellows. There's actually like a neon bright yellow matte and then that iridescent. Yellow, gray, yellow, black looks are fun. Like there are things about this that I can vibe with, but it's not for me. Yeah, I'm not even going to put it on the card because there's not really a spot for it. Okay. So this e.l.f. release, I think e.l.f. has a couple of things. So let's just see what they have. So first of all, it looks like they have some new lip balms that visually remind me a lot of the Laneige glossy tubes that Laneige has. It's new lip products and new and improved formula and packaging. So the lip exfoliator, which is $5, it's a lip scrub in a tube. So that's what you're seeing on the bottom row, the left and middle photo. And then the Squeeze Me lip balm is $4. It looks like the lip scrub, maybe those are all new like flavors or things. I know before they had like a cherry and a mint and this brown sugar, and then the balms all look new. And I wonder if those balms, the honeydew, peach, all that, if that is repackaged. So they did those squeeze tube balms like a couple years back. These look like great releases. I was talking about in my stream yesterday. I know that not everybody will vibe with that kind of lip scrub, but I love, so their old formula or their old packaging for that lip scrub was more like a lipstick tube. This looks like it's less product even, which is not my favorite thing, but I really like that format. Like this is one of those like drunk me would buy it. I would add one of these to my bag to hit a certain shipping minimum or things like that. I have to say Elf definitely will release stuff that like offends me or bothers me. But a lot of times they're just like, yeah, okay, cool, great, awesome. Like that's nice. We have Colourpop. Yeah, it's fine. It's a warm neutral palette. It's a warm neutral palette. It's more Morphe Colourpop. Like, I don't care. It's reddish orange. I also personally think that they are choosing that packaging color to make it more interesting than the color story actually is. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this under Colourpop yet again. This is this more Makeup Revolution? This is more Makeup Revolution. Although this, in a very like silly way, kind of intrigues me, and y'all will all not be surprised to hear me say that because I'm like, it looks like art supplies, which I love to see. The Artist Collection. There's a neon palette, a face and body paint palette, a UV paint palette, body reflective face and body gel, paint tray, glitter balm, face gems. Basically, it's like be gay, wear glitter. I doubt any of this is going to be good. I think the two palettes in the center are eyeshadows, and then the rest are like mixed medium kind of stuff. But it's so much crap. But I'm also, I don't hate it. I'm actually kind of curious about it. There is something about it that's giving me like primary, like elementary school art supplies in a nostalgic way. And actually, while we're talking about this, there was another one. So LA Girl also has a couple of new palettes. So I don't know what the pigment, I don't know if the pigment 9 pan is like a water activated liner or if it's just eyeshadow. And another one of those like glitter gel kind of palettes. But this, the one across the top, that's a lip palette. And I'm not going to say it's going to be good. I think the Makeup Revolution and the LA Girl might be terrible, but there's like a little part of me that might try one of these. I feel like both the Wet and Wild, or the Makeup Revolution and the Wet and Wild, are definitely giving me nostalgia, which does give me bingo. It's the kind of makeup stuff that I was looking at maybe as like a kid or a teenager, and I probably never really could buy it. But yay, bingo. Bingo. That was bingo. We hit bingo. I've also been live streaming for like 2 hours. Y'all are not seeing all the 2 hours, but I've been here for 2 hours, so who knows what happened. And I hope y'all enjoyed. If you would like to see the full uncut video, it's available for patrons and channel members. You can join now and still see it. Otherwise, thank you so much to my patrons and my channel members. Y'all are why I'm still here being a shit show on the internet. And if you do want to catch me elsewhere, I am on Twitch 5 days a week, usually Monday through Friday. I'm all over the internet as I perfectly am. And I'll see y'all whenever I see you. And don't forget to take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday, because you're worth it. Bye.